Here we go.
Well,
It's baseball season. Yeah, it's me, it's you, it's us versus each other. This week we have Guardians Yankees for the second series of the year. Love it. This one will obviously be in New York, last one being in Cleveland, so neither of us will be there, unfortunately. I hate that it's a weekday.
Dude, how the fuck that both of these series ended up being weekday series, like ALCS rematch. You would think that they would put at least one of these series on the weekend.
Like one of these deserves a Sunday night baseball to me.
Yeah. Or even like the Fox Saturday night game, like something.
Yeah. Like, here we go. Like two of the game's biggest stars. You know, I know Jose's not like a superstar the way Aaron Judge is, but like if you talk about, the 10 players in the sport that are stars, I would say Jose's on the list. So, it's a bummer, but I'm not here to complain too much about it. We got a couple of things to recap. First of all, Cal Raleigh and his pace is absurd. He's on pace now for 63 home runs. That would shatter every record. He's got 28 home runs 2 months into the year. We've got Aaron Judge versus Shohei Ohtani and what was a lopsided series between the teams. But I think obviously between two of the three best players in the sport was really wild to watch. Yeah. We have the Guardians wrapped up a series against the Angels that it looked like it was going to get ugly and be a bleeding out series, and they tightened it back up. Along with a bunch of other things. I want to start with this. Do you agree on the automatic ejection for hitters for tapping the helmet?
No, that is the softest shit.
You don't like it?
No.
Okay. So for those who don't know, the ABS system, they tried it out during spring training. The signal for, I would like to challenge that, is tapping the helmet. The ABS system, the challenging balls and strikes, is not available this year in the MLB, but umps asked the MLB if they could make this an automatic ejection because they didn't like, it was like a little passive-aggressive thing. Because obviously you cannot argue balls and strikes.
Yeah.
But hitters will not like a strike, tap the helmet, and now they're automatically ejected.
My thing is, like, if you can't go back and chirp the ump, like, what is wrong with doing this? Like, all right, bud, like, I see you, like, good call, but you can get me now, but just wait till this is ready. Like, then you're fucked.
Now, the MLB's moving back the ABS challenge. I don't know if you saw.
It's 2027 now, right?
At the earliest, because they got pushback from the feedback from players was that they don't want it yet. Something about the buffer zone is what is kind of being talked about, which I don't
understand it.
I don't understand it either. I thought that guys like Aaron Judge would love it. I thought, personally. But umps are funny, man. And we had a couple ejections over the weekend. I mean, obviously we had that one. Carlos Correa got ejected for the first time also of his career. Mm-hmm. But he was on the sideline. It was like a different kind of chirping.
Yeah. No, the Taylor Walls one was funny because, like, I mean, first of all, like, just such a bad call by the ump too. Like, it wasn't even close. And so for him to do it, like, optically, I thought it was perfect.
And then we also, what other ejection did we have? Oh, did the Mayo kid get ejected? I want to ask you about this. Baltimore Orioles series. Team's a disaster. And Mayo gets caught in a rundown and tries to draw an interference call by running out of the baseline and elbowing Sosa. And then pushing Sosa on the way by when Sosa said, "What was that about?"
Yeah.
Are the Orioles the easiest team in baseball to hate?
So it's funny because, like, I've always had a soft spot for the Orioles. And this goes back to years ago when I was fucking dating a girl from Baltimore, and like, we used to go to games all the time, and I fell in love with that stadium. So for the past few years, like, I felt bad for the Orioles. Like, they've sucked. They were pretty ass the entire time that, like, we were dating, and I would go down there for games. And so now to see their rise, like, in the last 2 years, I'm like, oh shit, I can get behind it. But you're right. Some of the antics from their players, it's like, damn, y'all make it hard to root for you, because, like, I enjoy a team that, kind of, builds from within, compiled a lot of young talent. But you're right. They're kind of just like, they're not a fun team to root for right now. And I hate the fact that they refuse to address the main problem of their organization, that they don't have fucking starting pitching worth of shit.
They don't have pitching. You know what bugs me about the Orioles? They play with this kind of bad boy mentality, like the we don't give a fuck mentality. They do the beer drinking. Kerstead is always trying to fight somebody. Yeah. Like, O'Hearn, to the gills.
Like, it's like a wannabe frat boy too.
Yeah, like, it is, and it's got some arrogance to him. But I think it's easier to hate them because they're ass. If you do all of those things and you're a good team, it optically feels a lot different than if you do all these
Yeah, it
things.
looks cool if you're winning games and like, oh shit,
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
it's a
I'm
good
down
way
to
to
chug
get
some beer in the dugout.
It's a good way to get a cult following. But
Yeah.
when you're ass, it's just like, look at these pricks that think they were going to have it all that are bad at baseball.
It's so cringe. And like, I'm not. It's funny because the Orioles are going to be in a tough spot. Now, obviously, they swept the White Sox this weekend. So it's like, all right, like, is that like they need that to jumpstart their season, basically. Otherwise, they've said that they could be sellers at the deadline. And I think they need to sell responsibly. They can't blow it all up because they've got too young of a core to just,
Well, it's like, who do you keep, right?
I mean, you keep Gunnar. You keep, like the core of Adley, Gunnar, Holiday,
and Mountcastle.
Yeah. But then anyone else could be extendable. O'Hearn, I think they absolutely have to trade O'Hearn. He's having a monster year, top 10 in the sport in OPS. I think you look to trade Cedric Mullins, dude.
Top 10 in batting average too.
Yeah,
he's hitting 330, bro.
And man, a lefty that can mash, like they will get a haul for him. Honestly, I know you're high on him, but like Cedric Mullins is not, his value has never been higher, and it won't ever be.
What? I was the one on this show 2 weeks ago saying move Mullins.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, move Mullins. Mullins, you move O'Hearn. Unfortunately, my Yankees don't need outfielders. We need a third baseman. Neither of those guys can play third. But O'Hearn's and Mullins.
I would love O'Hearn, dude, but the asking price is going to be too much for him.
Yeah, I mean, 31 years old, 6'2", 220, hitting 230. 330, excuse me, with 9 home runs, 22 RBIs, and then he is 952 OPS.
Yeah, dude, absolutely insane. 100th percentile in the sport in XBA too.
Yeah, no, he's hitting the shit out of the ball. Before we move into some individual topics, Noah, great question. Who's having a hotter May? Devers, Judge, Jose, or Santana?
I mean, it's so hard to really give an answer. I'm biased. I'm going to say Jose compiled the 21 game hit streak,
28 game on base streak.
28 game on base streak that's still intact right now. Just came off one of the best series I've seen from him in a long time. Like I'm loving where Josie's at right now. You can tell he's in a spot where everything he's hitting is hard. He's taking his walks. Now, Ron Washington intentionally walked him a bunch over the weekend too. But this is a version of Josie that I'm super excited for him to I think we'll get a good series from him. This and a good, I guess, we'll gauge where he's really at against the Yankees starting pitching this week. This will be a big series for him, I think.
This last month, Aaron Judge was down in batting average to 343. His on-base percentage was 441, which is down from previous month. His slugging was 747, and his OPS was 1100. Really, who's had the best May? I think Aaron Judge is ridiculous, so I like to exclude him from these conversations. To me, he's like in Will category. Devers' May was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Josie's May was arguably just as good as Judge's. You said he had 1100 OPS.
Actually, scratch that. It was 1200, 1251.
All right, well then, all right, that's a little bit. Josie's was 1.085 with a 634 slug, 450 on base. So
yeah, no, Judge just Jose's great and had a great month, but Jose's great and had a great month, but Judge is on a different planet when it comes to baseball, at least currently. He looks like he's solved baseball. Freddie Freeman had a huge month as well.
Yeah.
I think he deserves to be talked about on that list as well. Freddie Freeman, I believe he hit 400 for the month, which is absurd whenever you do that for a single month.
Yeah. And Santana too. I know Noah mentioned it, but yeah, Santana's May, he hit 316 with a 994 OPS. That's for Unk still doing that at 39. I think he currently has the longest hit streak. He's up to, I think, a 10-game hit streak now. The longest hit streak,
active. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the longest one by at least a Guardian 39 or older since Eddie Murray in 96. So
yeah. Freddie Freeman 410 this month, 462 on base percentage, 638 slugging, and his OPS was 1100, which is still less than Aaron Judge's. Just so you know. Yeah. Here we go. Crazy. Aaron Judge has a 5 F4. It's the beginning of June. No, he's on pace for 14, I believe.
Yeah.
Doug, that's absurd. Willie Adames got paid $200 million off of 4.5 WAR last year. And then this is the other part. Aaron Boone said Judge hasn't hit his ceiling yet. Yeah, so I guess Aaron Judge has not started swinging the bat hard yet. Is what's being talked about, which good on him. And then Devers, he had a crazy May too.
Yeah.
Whenever there's adversity, Devers goes crazy.
It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. I don't think they should trade him, but I mean, they would get a haul for him right now because he's absolutely destroying the baseball.
Yeah, people don't realize he's under 30, man.
Yeah. Yeah, 1.074 OPS in May, 356 average.
Again, all these ridiculous Mays, and Aaron Judge's May is just regular because of how elite he always is. Also, and then Ohtani, you didn't mention him, set the Dodger home run record for home runs in a month at 15.
We didn't even talk about him. He led the sport. I mean, him and Cal Raleigh led the top two in the month of the month of May in home runs. Like those two are kind of on incredible home run tears.
If I held a death beam to you and said who's going to lead the league in home runs this year, what are you saying?
As it stands right now?
Yeah, like what I'm saying, you got to place a bet today for home run leader.
I mean, am I going for value? Do they actually have odds for that?
No, Pat. You're going for death being pointed at you. You got to be alive at the end of it.
All right. Give me Shohei.
Okay, you want Shohei? I'm genuinely curious. I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. And then
here's the actually Judge is the slight favorite over Shohei, plus 115 to lead the regular season in home runs. Shohei is plus 165.
Makes sense. I mean, if it's true that Aaron Judge hasn't started swinging the bat hard yet, then I mean, you got to think he's going to have 1 month where they just like keep coming, and then
yeah.
And here's the thing: like Judge's power is going to carry for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like Cal Raleigh, like you worry about his power carrying late in the year.
Yeah. So I guess my question to you is that, like, do you think Judge will start to like swing harder, or because he's off to such a torrid start right now, like why risk swinging harder if what's working now is working?
No, I think he'll start to swing. I think naturally start to swing harder. It's like when you see pitchers, their velo upticks in the winter and the summer months. I think naturally, like as his fibers start to adjust more, he'll start to swing harder. But also, like if he's hitting, 380, 390, he's gonna naturally lift more home runs as the season goes on.
Yeah, I'm curious how much harder he is gonna swing because his bat speed's already like 98th percentile.
Yeah, that's
so
what.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then last little topic before we talk about our two teams, James Wood versus Neil Cruz. Is James Wood power? Is it the best young power in all baseball?
I think it is right now, dude. He's so fun to watch. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite young players. Probably is my favorite young player right now.
Dude, I feel like I was the first one on the James Wood train, dude.
Yeah.
I love James Wood. Right now he's hitting 286, 16 home runs, OPS of 952, and he's only 22 years old.
Bro, and his home runs, like he doesn't get cheated either. Like they're all no doubters, which is so optically so pleasing to watch.
Yeah, they're tank jobs. Him and O'Neal Cruz, I love, but like 6'7", 234. I mean, that's a slugger.
Yeah,
that's a slugger, and he's a guy that also swings the bat really hard.
Yeah, dude. The Nats just need some starting pitching, man, and their young core on offense is going to be good. Him like that tandem of him and Abrams is pretty sweet.
On the Pirates, they came out recently. I mean, their GM basically said that they're willing to trade anybody except for Skeens and O'Neal Cruz. Is there anybody on the roster you would want?
Brian Reynolds, man. He's been one of those guys that's been linked to Cleveland for a long time. Each trade deadline, it seems like we were talking about either Adam Frazier or Brian Reynolds of Pittsburgh, and a deal never got done. Obviously, Frazier was dealt, a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. I would love Brian Reynolds in Cleveland. I think he fixes a hole for us in the outfield. He's a good kind of guard ball type of player. I would love Brian Reynolds if we can get him. But I mean that all kind of depends on how the outfield situation is shaping out for us in a couple months. Because hey, right now I'm high on Nolan Jones, baby.
Well, okay, we'll get to that. Duran is going to get a lot of calls. Just want to say in the first day of Pride Month, he went 0 for 5. Just want to put that out there. But he
freaked out, man. He doesn't know what to do.
Doesn't know what to do. It's just not his month. But I think he's going to get moved. It sounds like the Padres are calling and inquiring. He's under team control until 2028. Are you interested in the Guardians getting involved with them?
I just think the asking price is going to be too much for him.
How much are you willing to give up for him?
I mean, how much am I willing to give up? I would say probably 2 top prospects and an MLB ready level arm, I would say.
Okay. So Kafis.
Yeah, it would have to be like, I'm saying it would have to be like Kafis and maybe Cooper Ingle,
Kafis,
or
Engel,
Juan Brito.
Kafis, no one wants Brito. Kafis, Engel, and Cantia.
Yeah, I mean, I would do that. I think he's
they hang up. You'd have to throw another one.
That's what I'm saying, and I don't want to do that.
And then lastly, before we get to your team, Jacques Caglione.
Yeah,
getting called up. He's now the second one from that draft class getting called up. Obviously, Bazzana being number 1 overall pick, but he's been absolutely mashing in the minors. Nick Kurtz already made it up. He's proved to be really effective. Jacques is up now. Are you worried a little bit? Like, how will you watch him in baseball?
I mean, all right, I'm a little nervous just because I've kind of been on the Kansas City train this whole season. I still believe that they're going to end the year with a better record than definitely Minnesota. It's hard to argue now that, you know, Detroit is legit, but I'm still holding on to the fact that I think Kansas City is more of a legit threat than Detroit, especially offensively. And now you add Jock into this. I mean, between him, Bobby Witt, Salvi, Pasquantino, like that's a legit top 4 of a lineup. That can scare me if Jock comes in and starts hitting right away.
And if he ends up being good, oh brother, the noise is going to get real bad because that's 2 up and Bazzana we're waiting on. He was older than all of them.
All right, yes, but also Bazzana's hurt, so it's like,
yeah, I guess that's the saving grace.
Yeah.
And then some breaking news for you: Yankees have placed Carlos Carrasco on outright waivers.
Okay, I mean that you're not surprised there, right? That was kind of coming.
It is kind of fucked up though. You know, they called him up and flew him to LA.
Well, that is kind of fucked up, but
yeah, but they had to.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the way Yarbrough's pitching right now.
Well, no, they called him up just in case because they needed an arm in case there was a blow up. Yeah, so they called him up for the Yarby start.
Yeah.
Just to give innings if Yarby got tattooed, and Yarby did not get tattooed. So then
that's what I'm saying, man. He's been money. I think I saw last night 3rd most swings and misses by a starter against the Dodgers this year. Only Skeens and Corbin Burns had more than Yarbrough last night.
Yeah. Would you trade Carl Willis for Matt Blake today?
I mean, yeah, but it's like, yeah, I think Carl Willis does a great job. So it's like.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
You would trade him? Okay, just curious.
Also, because he's old, so it's like, obviously, you want a younger guy.
Thank you for changing my life. I'm literally just Matt Blake. You guys took the series over the Angels, and what I thought was going to get really ugly. You guys lost game 1. Game 2 was definitely looking shaky. It was looking like we were going to see this team bleed out.
Yeah,
put it together. Nolan Jones hitting 350 over whatever stretch. I know he's hitting the ball hard still. He's starting to see the ball a little bit better, and he looks like he could maybe be an everyday outfielder. Don't know where you're at on this. Thoughts on the Angels series and your range of emotions, game 1 and then halfway through game 2.
Yeah, I mean, game 1, I was pissed off, especially coming off the series with the Dodgers where we did not look competitive in the first 2 games. To come back the way we did in game 3 made me like, all right, believe that. All right, we should go into this Angels series. And I wanted a sweep. Obviously, sweeps are hard to come by in baseball, so I was like, all right, at least take the series. But the way game 1 went, I was like, fuck me. Like no offense whatsoever. They clawed 1 run late, but just no clutch hitting. I mean, they had opportunities to make it a game. No one could buy a hit with runners in scoring position in game 1. Game 2, down 4-0 early, but never panicked because we were facing and part of the reason was that Soriano was pitching lights out in game 1. I got to give him some more credit. Like he's got some electric stuff. His sinker is really nice. But going from him in game 1 to then Hendricks in game 2, Kyle Hendricks should not be pitching in the majors anymore. And it took us one time through the order to realize that like, you just got to sit back and wait on his, he tops out at 85 miles an hour.
Yeah.
What was
my
that?
boy Tyler that I do that other show with texted me. He's like, finally someone hit that shitty changeup.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, And then he's like, wait, was that a fastball? I was like, yeah, like that's the fastball.
His changeup is like 70 some miles an hour.
Yeah, it's 77. The fastball's 86.
Yeah. So like the first time through, everyone's kind of swinging out of their shoes. And again, Hendricks has made a career off of location, and he had that early on. But boy, once they started hitting him hard, it became ugly. Josie homered, Quan homered off him. And then
Gabe Arias had a huge hit too.
Gabe Arias, well, he was the big one in the 8th or 7th inning after Carlos tied it up at 5. Gabriel Arias 2-run double going the opposite way, and that's how I know Arias is seeing the ball well right now, is because he's going the ball and driving the ball the opposite way. And so I'm really excited to see if he can continue that in this series in the Bronx, because of the short porch and right. I think we might be able to see an Arias bomb this series.
Okay, well, I started him on my fantasy team. I came back, and I have a good lineup going. I've got Jacques going this week, too. Jack Caglione. Trying to think of what else on the Guardians front. Oh, you guys Cantillo is back up, right?
No, so he's in Columbus right now. He made a start over the weekend. They're trying to lengthen him out, and basically, because we're going to need a 5th starter at some point. Lively is done for the season and probably all of next year, too. Logan Allen hasn't really cut it as a starter. They actually utilized him out of the pen on Saturday and pitched a 1-2-3, 2 strikeout, scoreless inning. But they're going to need a 5th starter, because right now it's Gavin, Tanner, who's going tomorrow, Luis Ortiz, Slade Ciccone, and then that 5th spot is what's open right now. The thinking is it'll be Cantillo, who will pitch, I guess, the first game Friday of the Astros series.
Yeah, I like Cantillo, so.
I do too. He just, I don't know. He has yet to seem to piece it together.
But he's got it. You can tell he's a pitcher, bro.
Yeah.
Being a thrower, dude. And I find so much value in that.
I mean, I think he's ways away better than Logan Allen. Logan Allen, sometimes you're just holding your breath. Like, goddamn, he has no control. And when he does, it's a fucking meatball.
A 6'4", 230-pound lefty, you have a place in this league for a long time.
Yeah.
Just gotta figure out. They said the contract.
I hope so. That he just gotta get more consistent, man. It seems like anytime he puts together a really good stretch, he then crumbles. And he's been fine out of the bullpen this year. I mean, shit, he's already pitched in 21 games, a 3.81 ERA, but his kind of advanced metrics aren't great. His expected ERA is over 4, XBA in the 52nd percentile.
Mm-hmm.
Is getting strikeouts. And again, what the Guardians have always loved about him is his extension is 98th percentile. So fastball plays up a little bit, despite it being just sitting at just under 92 miles an hour, which again, for a guy who's 6'4", 225, you would hope that they would have a little more juice on it. But
be a pitcher though. Be a pitcher. Other quick Guardians news: the boy Bieber in Akron on Thursday. I want to be there to see it. I think he'll be right around like that 25 to 30 pitch max, probably.
Yeah, he threw I think two and a third,
5 strikeouts.
Yep. So I think we'll probably see him similar stat line in his first start in Double-A. And the hope is that, hey, if everything goes well, he'll be in Cleveland in about 4 weeks. So going into this year, I was expecting we'd see Bieber kind of closer to the trade deadline, but it sounds like we're going to have him back pre-All-Star break, and that's huge, especially for this club to make a run to, prove to the front office that, all right, yeah, let's go be spenders at the deadline.
Which is what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You want spenders at the deadline. We took on the Dodgers over the weekend. It didn't go great. Max Fried got beat up a little bit, got tagged. His ERA is still under 2, so shout out to Max Fried, how dominant he's been.
Yep.
Saturday got really ugly, and I was in a bad mood. Losing 18-2 is always disgusting, especially when you are the Yankees. And then game 3, they saved the sweep, and Yarborough, man, has been exceptional. I told you it was his 4th start. It was actually his 5th start, and as a starter, his ERA is 2.08. And his whip on the season is under 1. So he's been real deal Holyfield and not really a power pitcher. And at some point you think that'll come down to earth, but he's getting a ton of soft contact. And his arm angle is actually getting more swings and misses than I thought it would. So we're coming off some good starts from him. And a 1-run outing against the dominant Dodgers team is elite, like about as elite as it comes. So
yeah.
We've got some things to figure out, obviously. I think that Dominguez is hurt.
Yeah, you think what is it? A contusion in his thumb?
Some contusion, so I think he'll miss a week, which is okay. Like this Yankees team has 3 everyday outfielders in Bellinger, Judge, and Trent Grisham, who's played really well this year.
Yep.
Obviously, Ben Rice continues to rake, and there's more and more separation every time that a baseball game is played between him and Manzardo. Hate to break it to you. For now, at least, we'll see what the career holds. But right now, Ben Rice is the better of the 2 first basemen, and they're similar spots. And our old man playing first, Paul Goldschmidt, has been absolutely raking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been again. You look up at like some of the crazy numbers in baseball. Paul Goldschmidt has more multi-hit games than Stephen Kwan this year, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Like, it's just not something you would have never thought you would see here.
He doesn't have more stolen bases than him, does he?
No, than Kwan.
I don't know how many stolen bases Paul Goldschmidt or Stephen Kwan has.
Kwan is 8 on the year.
No
way Goldschmidt is more than 8.
No, I don't think he does.
I'd be floored. No, Goldschmidt is 5. That's still
you're supposed to say more than you thought. 5?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if he didn't have that many extra base hits, he might have already had him. But Paul Goldschmidt, like, we are now in June, and his OPS is 874.
I'm super impressed because this honestly felt like kind of not a desperation signing by the Yankees, but like a little bit. I mean, a guy who was trending the wrong way in his career after last year.
I didn't even think it was desperation. I thought it was idiotic. Like, not idiotic. I thought it was because here we go. I thought that they weren't ready to commit to Ben Rice being the everyday first baseman, and they didn't want. And this was like a fake action because a lot of Yankees fans wanted Christian Walker.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, it wasn't desperation because if you were desperate, you just would have signed Christian Walker all that money. This felt like, let me pretend like we're doing something, like that kind of stuff.
That's fair. Yeah, and I mean, Christian Walker
has not been nearly as good as Paul Goldschmidt.
Dude, 634 OPS on the year. And I've never been high on Christian Walker. He's always been someone that's been linked to the Guardians when we were in search of like kind of the first baseman on those years in Arizona when they struggled. And I don't know why he's never really done it for me. But he's also 34. Like, he's up there in age too.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, he's 34. Goldie's 37, 38.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like you wanted a guy. But Goldschmidt, Belly, Fried, Devin Williams have all been good. I mean, Devin Williams has been a lot better as of late.
He looked good last night. So
with the Dodgers, he's throwing the fastball for more strikes now, and that's really important. If you throw the fastball for strikes, you can't sit on changeups.
Yeah, and that's where he was getting hurt earlier in the season. He couldn't locate it for shit, and people were just sitting on changeups in the zone.
Yep, sit on changeup in the zone. This series, let me get this question from Rick, and then let's talk about our series and get out of here. Yeah. Pat, if the Guardians buy at the deadline, what are the top 3 needs?
I think I think the number one need right now is an outfielder, no question about it. If Nolan Jones continues to hit the way he has over the last, I believe it's 2 or 3 weeks now, he's hitting like about 340, 350. If he continues that and he can lock down right field every day, then you're set there. I still think you need a center fielder. Lane Thomas has been just god awful this year, and Angel Martinez has been fine. Angel Martinez should not be hitting in the 2-hole right now. He's a number 9 hitter. The guy that he swings at everything. And when he's hitting the ball well, it's fun, but his OPS or his on base percentage is under 290 right now. And you can't have that in the 2-hole right now. So they got to switch up things offensively, but I think center field, a center fielder is a big need. I think second base, if you can get a rental second baseman for a year, obviously Bazana with dealing with the injury, he's not going to be ready for a playoff run. And if it is, it'd be Rush. I think you could bring him up, but I don't think he should be relied upon to be, contributing at the end of the year this year. So I think if you can find a rental second baseman, I think Schneemann is great, but he's more of a bench guy for me. And then a starter.
Well, if you get a center fielder, why wouldn't you just play Angel at second?
I'm not as high on Angel as you are.
So you don't think Angel should be an everyday player?
No, I think him and Schneemann are good guys to have off the bench because they can play multiple positions and they're decent enough hitters, but they should not be everyday players.
I think Angel's absolutely an everyday player.
Bro, he doesn't. The problem is, and it doesn't help Well, again, and maybe he's just hitting in the wrong spot in the order. If he's a 9-hitter, that's fine. But you're looking at this guy.
I know I'm saying, like, I don't think he should be the 2-hitter, but I think you not thinking he's an everyday player is kind of crazy.
Dude, he has a 654 OPS, a 274 on base percentage.
He's a good athlete. He's a good bottom of the order bat.
He's a good athlete and a good bottom of the order bat, but I want more from my everyday center fielder, I guess.
Like, why doesn't Angel Martinez get that? Like, here we go. A 23-year-old hits 253. And I know the OPS is 650, but that's not one you want to let develop and get time. Like
I don't know. To me, he just screams like he's a great utility guy that can plug and play multiple times a week.
It sounds like you think he's closer to his ceiling. He's close to his ceiling.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, I don't think he's 23 years old.
And that's fair. But it's like he's never really shown that he can hit for any sort of power, consistently. He swings and misses a lot. And like, yeah, he's got decent speed, but I don't know. Great 9-hole hitter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's an everyday player for you guys. I think giving him the reps now would pay dividends on the other side of it.
Yeah, he's also being he's had a lot of good luck on his way right now. He's 4th percentile in the league in expected WOBA, 20th percentile XBA, 10th percentile X slug, 20th percentile average exit velo, 7% barrel percentage. Like, it's just. It's not very promising when you look at the expected stats. So I don't know. To me, those two are my two biggest needs offensively, and then I think we need and then another arm in the rotation could never hurt, because I'm not sold on Ciccone just yet. He's had a decent first couple starts this year, but he got roughed up against the Angels over the weekend, and his command was shaky. So
who would you rather have as your second baseman this year, Angel Martinez or Christian Campbell?
I mean, I trust the hyper on Christian Campbell.
Okay, Angel Martinez is better than Christian Campbell.
No, like maybe right now.
Yeah, I'm saying
I think long term.
I'm saying, like, why does one 23-year-old you're ready to just to say, like, think he's close to his ceiling, the other one you're not?
I don't know. I think maybe I'm just buying into the hyper on Campbell all throughout the minors. This is also his first taste of the majors. Angels in his second year in the majors.
Yeah, but he's a 23-year-old. Any 23-year-old hitting above 240, you absolutely will take and let them figure out the eye thing. Because the bat to ball skills are there. I think you're giving up on him a little bit too early because you have PTSD from Rocchio and them.
Maybe.
I think that's what this is, because
but hear me out. But tell me, all right, so then but am I wrong in saying that that's not a major team need right now?
What is not a major team need?
Center field.
No. My thing was, you said center field and second base. So it's like, if you guys get a center fielder, like you said, top 3 needs, you guys get a center fielder, Angels should be playing every day at second base and getting better.
I mean, I think you could alternate him and Schneemann. I think Schneemann's bat is better than Angels. Schneemann has a legit top.
I guess for me, what player is closer to their ceiling?
I mean,
Schneemann's older, significantly older.
Yeah, no, for sure. But Schneemann's also taken a major leap from last year to this year.
And here we go. And I like Schneemann.
Yeah.
But Schneemann's also like 28 years old. So he's got like the grown man strength. So like he's about at his power apex, or getting close to it, because power apex is about 30 years old.
Yeah.
Like Angel Martinez, you said like the power's not there. Well, what 23-year-old under 6 foot has power?
Yeah. No,
they just don't exist, because those guys don't get there.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm just down on Angel, and it's not a knock on him per se. I just think that, to me, he's like he just screams like a good versatile bench player, and I think that's great. And I think that provides a lot of value. I'm also jaded because we haven't had a legit hitting center fielder in forever. I had to watch Miles Straw, man, the center field spot for 3 straight years. So
how's he doing, actually?
Oh, he's ass.
I just saw him on my TV not too long ago.
Yeah. No, he is actually he's hitting 289. I take that back. He's not that ass.
Not ass, but it's funny, he's hitting 289, but his OPS plus is still under 100.
Yeah. But again, that just means he's being a singles merchant right now.
Yeah, big singles merchant.
But anyway, yeah. Regardless, yeah, I think those are my three biggest needs right now.
We need a starting pitcher and a third baseman.
Do you really need a starting pitcher?
I want one. I want DeGrom. So
even with Luis Heel coming back,
I want DeGrom. Yeah.
All right. So what are you trading for DeGrom?
What am I trading for DeGrom?
Yeah.
Glad you asked. Come get Schlittler and come get Spencer Jones.
All right. You think just those two will be enough?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
I think the Rangers will want MLB ready players.
For what? They're not competing.
What do you mean they're not competing?
They're not competing. They score offense once every day. They score runs once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're playing in the worst division in the AL. They're 4 games out of a playoff spot, and like I don't know. I believe that this offense has what it takes to turn it around. They have the guys in there that can do it, and they have a lot of young guys that really haven't played to their potential yet.
I think they'll move. I think they'll move DeGrom. I hope they move DeGrom. I mean, we want one of them back, either him or Evaldi. Like, I just want one of them.
Yeah.
DeGrom was made to pitch in New York, and like the smile and the look that Judge gave him when they had that moment, it's like,
just because it's June doesn't mean that meant anything else.
It absolutely means something. A lot of love there. No, we did talk about the Dodgers smacking around the Yankees, but saying that they gave us one is crazy when it was your ace that went out there that's competing for a Cy Young getting tattooed. Ben Rice, that splitter 415 dead centi.
Hey,
the most watched game in the series. We blasted you guys.
You didn't blast them. They blasted y'all on Saturday.
Nobody watched that shit.
I did. Actually, I didn't. I only turned it off after I turned it off after the second inning.
Congrats, they beat a rookie. We beat their ace.
Hey, man, that's your man's Will Warren.
I know, dude. He was tipping pitches, bro, because there's no way. There's no way. Ben Vargo already acknowledged that he deserves to be a Yankee. This series we got coming up, bro. What do you need to go into this series? Obviously, I'm a Yankees fan. You're a Guardians fan.
Yeah.
I feel really good about my team. I'm not in a fragile place. You're in a little bit more of a fragile place than I am.
A little bit, but the last 2 games.
Your division's more competitive, though. My division is not. We're gonna run away and hide with this.
Yeah.
What do you need to see this series for you to feel decent about your team or in a better place?
I want to see what our starting pitching is capable of, especially like the 3 guys. Obviously, I trust Bobby to do his thing tomorrow. It's more so Wednesday and Thursday. Luis Ortiz, a big start for him and probably the most hostile environment he's pitched in all year. Same thing with Slade Ciccone. It's like those 2 guys, what are their biggest issues? They struggle with command and they struggle with the blow-up innings and they give up the long ball. So it's like, all right, those do not bode well for this series. The Yankees take their walks and they hit home runs. If these 2 guys can locate, they have the stuff to play with anyone. And it's just that when they fall behind hitters and struggle to throw the fastball for strikes, that's where they get in trouble. So I think this series is big for those 2 guys, and I want to see how they fare. And if they fare well against this Yankees lineup, I don't even need to see a win next to their name in the column the next day. But just for me, if they can pitch well and competitive and can attack the Yankees hitters and not fall behind everyone, I'll feel really good about where this rotation has the chance to be at the end of the year.
I'm curious to see if you guys are going to nibble on the strike zone against us again, because that's what keeps happening when we play you guys.
Dude,
have this thing where you guys nibble and then we get you in fastball counts, and it didn't go the Yankees' way last time, but like in the playoffs, that's what happened, right?
Yeah,
you guys nibbled, and when you fall behind, it's bombs away,
dude. It's been the problem now for literally since the 2020 series against you guys in the playoffs. Like that's been since that wild card round or in the COVID year, that's been the Indians' issue, whether it be regular season or postseason against the Yankees. And it's something that they just cannot get out of their own way about. And it's crazy.
Are you at all concerned that Carlos Rodon has a mental edge over your organization? Or do you think Rodon is just a riser when it comes to? I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm not. Listen,
There's nothing you could say at this point.
Rodon, like, can you help me explain the Rodon versus the Guardians thing?
Honestly, I really it baffles me because we hit lefties well. Like we were top 5 in baseball last year against left-handed pitching. We've been pretty good this year against left-handed pitching as well. Rodon takes them out against us, and we shit down our legs. And I really hope that maybe, some of these new guys that are playing, obviously David Fry just got called up over the weekend. He mashed against lefties last year. Maybe he's the spark that we need.
He played in the
my God.
He played in the playoffs last year. He wasn't doing shit against him.
I'm just saying, I hope that may be something because I'm nervous if we're going to, and the part that sucks is that's tomorrow and that's Bibee going.
Yeah.
So if Bibee pitches a gem, but can't outdo a Rodon, now we're down 0-1 and we've got Luis Ortiz and Slade Ciccone pitching the last 2 games who, like you just said, I think are going to have the tendency to want to nibble against the Yankees, and they are wild to begin with. And if they find themselves down on the count, in the hitters counts and groove fastballs, it's going to get ugly.
Yeah, I mean that's a nibbler. We do. Yeah. Someone asked. Here we go. Jake asked if we would pat 999 for one of the games. We're trying to figure out a day what day we can stream it. Honestly, yeah. I need to reach out to that girl that did it, see if she wants to get on stream with us and try again, try to redeem herself.
If we can get her on, I'm absolutely doing it. But until we get her on, we will stream one of the games, and I will drink 9 beers, dude. It's the 9 hot dogs that fucking murdered my stomach.
See, I'm not a bitch, bro. I'll do it. If y'all give this video enough, if you guys comment enough on this video, I'll fucking do it, dude. I don't care, dude.
All right, I'll do it. Fuck.
I'm gangster. Wait,
first of all, you didn't even do it the first time.
I completed 7 and 7.
That's fine. You didn't go complete 9. Game.
Okay. Well, it's good, and it's gonna be fun. Here's the thing: if we are on the stream together, one of us is gonna be miserable, and the other one's gonna be like also miserable, but for a different reason. So I'm gonna be eating hot dogs while talking shit, or no, I'm gonna be eating hot dogs while talking shit, no matter what.
Yeah, but it's really, you don't get as pissed off as I do when your team loses. So.
No, because even if we are losing, I'm still gonna talk shit to you.
Yeah,
well, I'm just impenetrable.
Well, no, you just will bring back what happened in the playoffs, and I don't have a response for that.
No, so. I don't only do that. I do.
Yeah, you do.
I do other things.
No, you do that.
I do other things.
You do 90% that.
No.
Yes. Absolutely.
See, that's what I'm saying. You don't know me. Just like
yes, I do know you. I know your shit talk.
The box in the snow. You don't know me. You guys don't know me. So we got Rodon, Bibee, Schmidt, Ortiz, and then Fried, Ciccone. You guys got to take that Schmidt Ortiz game too.
Yeah, I mean, we looked really good against Schmidt. Obviously, was that his first or second start back earlier this year against us? Schmidt.
That was his first start.
That was his first start back. Yeah, and we hit him pretty well. So I'm hopeful that we can continue that because we definitely got to win that game. And then, we really got to take game 1. I really want to take game 1 in part because I think you have to win the Bibee start. I don't trust Ciccone going up against Fried. I think you're at a massive disadvantage in that game. And I get that Fried had the bad start against LA, but he's been too good all year.
Did you hear him after the game?
What'd he say?
Pissed off. He's so fucking mad.
Good. I hope it gets in his head and he's fucking wild. And
in his head, you guys are about to be the get the calculated fucking. Yeah, I mean, he's lefty Maddox, bro. People don't understand.
That's all right. We hit every lefty except for Carlos Rodon. So
yeah, but here's the thing: he's throwing harder than Rodon, and his stuff is nastier. So
yeah. Well, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this much: I will feel good about this series if we are able to touch up Rodon, because if we can touch up Rodon, given the history that he has against us, I'll feel really good heading into Thursday against Max Fried.
Yeah, and our bullpen might be a little bit dinged up.
Yeah, you guys had to use a lot of arms.
Well, Cruz is out.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Weaver's out. I mean, obviously we know Jake Cousins is out, Clayton Beater is out.
Yeah.
So really, you're going to be facing. I think setup and closer is likely going to be lighter.
And Devin
gives me a heart attack every time he plays you guys, and then Devin Williams.
Yeah. And no, our bullpen's been fire as of late. So if we can get a lead late, I'll feel confident. Cade Smith has kind of found his form after a rough stretch there. Clase in the month of May gave up 1 earned run. I think a .80 ERA for the month of May. My GOAT is back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gaddis, Tim Herron's been the one that's been shaky recently. So
it's hard to be a strike thrower from that arm slot.
Yeah, it is. And that's been my major concern with him. And that's why he gave me the most, fits last postseason. Because if I can't trust you to throw strikes in the late innings of a playoff game, you're gonna cause me to rip my hair out. But
true. A couple things before we get out of here, in case you missed it. Brandon Pfaadt could not get out of the first inning, could not record an out in the first inning against the Nationals. That game was on Saturday.
They're calling it the first ever yes hitter.
The yes hitter. Washington scored 10 in the first inning, won the rest of the game. So he did not make it out. That's an ERA killer. His ERA now inflated, honestly, to only just over 5 in what was.
But I think what was it before that game?
I think it was 3.
It was 3-4. I think it went over. I think it went up over a run and a half. But
and I don't even know how you calculate it because it's 8 earned runs.
Yeah, and just the same amount of innings pitched as he had all year.
Well, I'm saying 8 earned runs on 0 innings pitched.
Yeah,
so I don't know how you even calculate that into ERA.
Well, so basically, the ERA is earned runs per innings pitched. So you leave his innings pitched as the same on the season. It's just
with an extra.
You're saying on the actual start?
Yeah,
it's just infinity. But
infinity ERA.
All right, so his ERA was 3.9 heading into the start and jumped over 5.05.
Yeah, that's I guess a great way to start a game.
Unbelievable, man.
And then some of the series that we have. Actually, some not bad series. So just real quick, because I know you care about it. Detroit kicks off against Chicago, the White Sox. They continue their not so difficult series as the Tigers look to extend on the lead. Another big series. We got the first place Mets versus the first place Dodgers.
Yeah, wait, hold on. We didn't talk about a certain someone hitting 2 home runs over the weekend. You thought you were going to get out of here without mentioning it.
We would have talked about it if he hit more home runs than Aaron Judge over the weekend, and he didn't.
All right. Whose home runs actually mattered?
Aaron Judge's.
Really?
Yeah.
The 2 solo shots in an 18-2 blowout mattered more than Juan Soto's.
He had more than 2. And also people. Here's the thing: people like you and Cutter is King, whatever. You guys should expect. Okay, so the Yankees are getting blown out, so Aaron Judge should just go strike out every time.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying whose home runs mattered more, Soto's or Judge's over the weekend.
Definitely Aaron's.
What? You're fried.
No.
How many games did the Yankees win this weekend when Aaron Judge homered?
0. But
how many games did the Mets win when Juan Soto homered?
Did the Mets need? So congrats. Juan Soto hit home runs in a game where everybody was hitting home runs. Aaron Judge was hitting home runs when no one else could hit. That means
you kidding me? The whole Dodgers, everyone in the Dodgers hit a home run. Judge wanted to get in the party.
I know the Dodgers did, but also pitching wise, everybody on the Yankees was doing, they didn't need those 2. I mean, look, Lindor and Pete Alonso both hit home runs.
Okay. So
it's congrats.
So Soto's don't count because other people hit home runs? So for Soto's to count, he's got to be the only one of the Mets to hit a home run. Okay, got it.
No, it's got to be impressive because it's got to be that's the only form of, because he's not being asked to carry an offense. Is Juan Soto being asked to carry an offense on his shoulders?
No. You think Judge is?
Yes.
Oh, shut up.
Aaron Judge is carrying an offense on his shoulders.
He's not carrying an offense when you've got Ben Rice and Paul Goldschmidt.
He's got 5 more. You just named me a rookie first baseman, and then you just named me a 39-year-old first baseman.
I don't care if the numbers are the numbers backing it up.
Aaron Judge
is not carrying the offense.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Let's do this. I'm glad that you did this. And also, did you see the Mets? That's what I'm saying. Soto's never been asked to do it, bro. Stop it, bro. Juan Soto has never been asked to carry an offense. He doesn't even know what it's like over here. Oh, yeah, dude. Let's do this.
All right, here we go. Judge has 3 other players in the starting lineup with OPSs over 800. He's not being asked to carry.
It's literally all because of him.
All right, but he's not being asked to carry the offense. They're all producing.
Yeah, they're all producing because he's so good. They're scared to pitch to him again. So everybody else.
I get it, but it's also on those guys to actually deliver, and they're delivering. So he's not carrying the offense.
He is carrying the offense. Okay, so get this. You can add the war together of Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, and Frankie Lindor. Guess who would have more war out of that big 3 versus Aaron Judge?
Judge.
He's carrying an offense, not just an offense. He's carrying the whole city, because without him, the city would be depressed in the dumps because they spent $1 billion on a player who's not worth it. And the Knicks are ass. And
all right, here we go.
He's the only one left.
You better hope the Mets don't take a series in LA. Otherwise, we're gonna have a whole different conversation.
If the Mets take a series in LA, it won't erase the fact that they didn't take a series from us.
I'm just saying.
That's not how this thing works. And if they take a series in LA, congrats, we softened them up. And they didn't have to play they didn't have to play their.
You know what? You would have gotten swept if we didn't soften them all. If we didn't soften.
No, we had to face their ace. The Mets got to play Dustin May. Hold up, bro. You're over here meat riding the Mets.
Hop on, meat riding shit.
Y'all got a series to win, bro. I'm not worried about the Mets. I don't even watch. I don't watch. I hope the Mets win every game in this series.
Oh, really? You're gonna root for the Mets over LA?
Absolutely, because I hope that they feel some semblance of hope again.
Yeah.
So that when we get them at Shitty Field, we beat that ass.
There we go. There it is.
Shitty Field. Shitty Field.
Brandon
Nimmo. Also, look at who changed their PFPs for the month. Just saying, but we're not the same.
Tribe didn't either. We're good.
Yeah, and here we go. Hawk Tua has thrown out our first pitch at a Mets game. The president throws out first pitches at Yankee Stadium. Get me out of here, Pat. End the show.
All right. We'll keep you guys updated on what our plan is for a live stream at some point during the series.
We'll tweet a plan. Maybe we'll do one of those gay videos that Pat made over the weekend.
I got flamed for that. I thought it was so funny.
Dude, I kept getting sent it and I kept opening it from my burner Twitter, so I couldn't like it.
Dude, people kept tagging you in it. They're like, Chris, get your boy.
I was like, y'all, I'm trying to watch porn on this app. Leave me alone.
I was fucking, dude. The funny thing was that was my second drink of the day. And I don't know why. It was hitting nice. The guards were coming back. I was like, oh shit, I'm feeling good. And I took that video, sent it to my friends. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna post it too. Because why the fuck not? But yeah, we'll announce what we're doing. Oh yeah, hold up. We didn't yet.
No, I mean, I think that us being on this thing, I think us doing the 999 challenge is enough suffering for both of us. So I wasn't going to add to it.
All right, that's fair enough.
Yeah. I just want to shit talk and maybe make a bet live if we're doing.
Yeah. Get me hammered and then try to take advantage of me. I see your plan.
Oh yeah, dude.
Okay.
Me and Pat have never actually watched a Guards Yankees game together.
No, we've been at the same game.
And I checked in between innings.
Yeah. No, all right. You stuck around for a little bit.
Bro, I would come check in between innings because I have my little camera out and I'm obsessed with your cousin. Then I would go back.
Yeah. But also that game doesn't count because you had literally no pressure in that game. And that was my season was on the line. So
I honestly didn't want to be an asshole because I could tell you were going through it.
Oh, dude, it was bad.
I just minded my business.
Ugh.
So, but all right, Pat, get me out of here.
All right. That's Chris. I'm Pat. Stay tuned for this week. Yankees Guards. Strike 3. We're out.